you love me. Bitch, where is my money? Better have my shit by the end of the week, or your ass is gonna get beat. Goodbye now.
Hey baby, I just finished getting my hair cut. I'm gonna run a few errands before I come home. If the kids want something to eat, just let me know. And I love you. Let me listen to that back.
I'm crispy, man. Hey, the marriage is over. Here, listen to this. That's me putting my ring down. I'm done. I'm for the streets. No need to go to court. You can have it all. That's your house now.
We black out here.
You Africans all alike. Crazy.
We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want.
He own you. He can do anything he want with you. There ain't nothing you can do about it.
This the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game. This the money game.
I've been scratching and scrambling most of my days to get where I got.
And you cannot sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one of them.
I eats in the big house kitchen. I got pine boards on the floor of my cabin.
If I crumble, my children crumble, my grandchildren crumble.
And it don't take much coughing for the master to make me have a cup of corn whiskey for my medicine.
I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement.
Now that is fine living for a nigga, and I'll be damned if any African Guinea man is gonna make me lose all I've been working for. Now you take my meaning?
There are ways to win the war in a different way.
You best learn or you're gonna get the bloody back for
Big back, big back, big back, big back. Yeah, my back is loaded up with snacks and different foods. Squeeze into this tiny shirt, my big back has no room. Big back, 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 big back. Might just eat a Big Mac, might just order DoorDash. Big back, big back, big back, big back, big back, big back. Yeah. Now can we run that back? Big back, big back, big back, big back. Yeah, my back is loaded up with snacks and different foods. Squeeze into this tiny shirt, my big back has no room. Big back, big back, big back, big back.
An American man talking to an African American woman, what can we do to get our culture together so we can agree, so we can be together, so we can raise families, so we can build our communities? We need more men like you to check these brothers out here who's not taking care of their kids, who don't know how to talk to black women. It's not just black women. Where are the men that's checking the men?
So I want you to start checking other BWs or just women, period. And I want you to tell them, especially the BW, tell them to stop making negative, toxic content go viral. Getting tore up. We had a time last night. Somebody having an allergic reaction to a weave or wig, viral. Somebody fighting toxic and almost maybe losing their life, viral. Girls dancing in the street, twerking. Next thing you know, rounds go off, pop, 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 viral. You didn't get enough sauce to go with your French fries and you cussing everybody out and tearing up the restaurant, viral. Fighting with others in the airport or on the airplane. Like you don't got no sense, viral. Yeah, somebody said the Waffle House. Yeah, we can go on and on.
Yeah, I agree with you. And
y'all don't make good men who are doing y'all right go viral. Y'all make the toxic men who are cheating and beating on y'all make those clips go viral. Let's be real.
As an African American man,
honey, I tell you, black women. So drop yourself off in the comments. Hey. Honey, I tell you, it's about to be a rough week for all you self-hating black woman
hurt their children. Pay attention to that. That's all I have to say. Do you care about children who are abused? Of course I care about them, but y'all don't care about them. Y'all abandon your children so much, and you abandon the women, and you make fun of the women, and you make fun of the children who don't have fathers. Y'all don't care. Do you understand if there was a male version of me, he would have millions of followers? Because men are part of the patriarchy. If there was a male version of me, white society would roll out the red carpet for him. They'd be like, oh my God, you are the Messiah. You are, but I'm a woman. If there's ever a male version pops up of me, that man is going to be celebrated from here to kingdom come. Because we don't talk like that. You know? And they are aliving their own children daily. Yes, the black man is. No, I'm not wrong. Stop arguing with a journalist. It really bothers me. It really, really bothers me. Stop. You don't know nothing that you're talking about when you want to keep trying to minimize something that's really happening, that has been happening for hundreds of years. Did you know one of the first reports of court was when, hold on. I thought I had a notification and it was something else. Sorry about that. Why do you want to talk about other races? Why? Why, when we're talking about black children being hurt, do you want to talk about other races? Are you trying to say we should just be fine with black men molesting their children because other races do it? What are you saying? Why do y'all say that? Well, other races do it too. So? And they go to jail. The white man built the legal system. He did. He built the jail. He built the judges. He built the court system to put them in jail. That's what he did to remedy that situation. What do black men do? Well, she was flirting. She was a 5-year-old flirting, and yeah, well, we're waiting for you to do something. Everybody is waiting for y'all to do something. I don't care what you think. Why do you need them to do it more or less? It's the point that they do it, baby. What is wrong with you? I'm worse than Candace Owens, I promise you that. Why? Because she actually cares, okay? She actually has black male friends, and she cares not to come on her social media and say anything to actually truly disrespect them, okay? I don't care at all. Now, I could care less. So we're not the same. We would never be the same. For real. It's sexier to sell divestment from black men, though, but no one else wants y'all. Okay, which is why most of us are... I'm not even going to entertain that conversation. Oh, so she believes it's all black men. Are you hurt? Did I say all? I could say all if you want me to help you with your psychosis. Is it all? Man, just say it's wrong. Hey, if somebody's going to call me Candace Owens for saying I don't like pedophiles, then I'm going to say I'm worse. Okay? You can call me whatever you want. Whatever you got to do, I'll take that. The truth still remains. Y'all shouldn't be messing with the children. Okay? Stop worrying about what the white man do, because the white man already took care of it. Like I said, the white man built the jail. You didn't. He invented the legal system to put those people in the jail, to make them pay for what they're doing to the white children. What are y'all doing? If you wanna compete with them, you're gonna have to do something. Because again, white men built the legal system. Yes, they did. They built the lawyers, the district courts, the laws, all that. They said, this is wrong. You shouldn't be touching your children. You shouldn't be hitting people. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. They did something about it. They didn't just sit around and say, well, you know.
Listen, we don't need to bring anything to the table because we are the table. Without my seed, you can't have any kids, drizzle, drizzle. So what you gonna do about that? Listen.
It's just that simple.
You know, to that point, Leah, I don't even understand how black women think they owe black men a goddamn thing. Let's be real. I've always said it. Everyone here can attest to it as well. History has already shown us. Whenever somebody got on their ass, who the fuck did they run behind for cover? When they couldn't eat on the plantation because they pissed off the master, who gave them substance via breast milk? It was black women. I am not explaining a goddamn thing to a motherfucker that ain't never done anything, who is always hidden behind my skirt tails for cover. You can shut the fuck up and stay in your goddamn place, and your place ain't next to me. I don't understand why black women have not yet realized the only reason these niggas exist is because y'all won't stop fucking them and birthing them. If you stop fucking them and stop birthing them, you can exercise your God-given right to never have to deal with one of these motherfuckers again. Just be done already. Aren't y'all tired of the same goddamn shit? I'm tired of the same song, and this is why I'm like you, Aaliyah. This shit be frustrating me so bad that I can't deal. I literally can't stand this shit.
It pisses me off because it's like, motherfucker, what business is it of yours? What business is it of any motherfucking bodies? That woman did what the fuck she had to do for herself. What that got to do with you? That's why I said that they always got something to say. It's like, nigga, mind your motherfucking business and keep your mouth shut. They always got something to say. They think they can rule you and tell you what to do and try to keep your ass bound to some goddamn fucking street code and all this other shit. That's why they kill me trying to pretend like they didn't. I'll never understand why she was protecting him. You motherfuckers lying because you sat up here and y'all know how y'all have instilled the no snitching code. Where snitches get stitches, remember? Y'all have drilled into black women forever. Do not call the police. Do not do that shit because you're putting them in danger when you do that. That's why I say I don't know why are y'all motherfuckers playing dumb. I don't like this two-faced shit. I just don't. Y'all know why. Y'all shut the fuck up.
I just want to say, shout out to Chili from TLC. She debuted her boo. You know,
I saw that.
You know, and he's not of the orangutan species.
And shout out to the universe for letting that motherfucker get his chest hit earlier last night. Y'all know my husband is a fucking football fan, and I saw that nigga drop. I'm like, ooh, is the universe real or no?
And another one bites the dust.
And they have the audacity to be trying to cancel Skip. Now, I don't even watch sports like that, but I've been keeping up. That man didn't say nothing wrong. Y'all need to stop. Just because that's a member of y'all's protected class, that don't mean everybody got to dance around and not be able to speak and speak their minds. Like, please, have a seat. Stop trying to cancel everybody that's not worshiping the Kangs.
They sit around and wait. They just sit around. And black people sit around and they just look at everybody talk and wait till they get offended. Somebody can say something real fucking awesome. They gonna let that pass. They wait to get offended. That was wrong. Now, can I get a lower rent? Let me get some food stamps. Oh, childcare, Section 8. Also, you need to treat me like somebody. But I'm like, I wouldn't talk around a whole bunch of black folk either if I wasn't, black. It is what it is. Go ahead, Kyra.
I love you.
Oh man. All right, so I had to warm it up to what we about to get into real quick. Had to give you a warm up. These are some of the clips I've had on my computer for a while. I had them on my computer for a while. And I kept those clips because I knew they would come in handy one day, because this is some of the stuff that kind of makes brothers mad, black men mad especially. In several of those clips, a couple of them I threw in there for comedic relief, but several of those clips that you've seen in there were how people think of you, right? Now, fast forward to today, because some of those were like 2 and 3 years old. The sentiment hasn't changed at all. It hasn't. You still get talked to or talked about like a dog. They still and then toss it out there on, what the hell is that? And put it on TikTok, right? And people tend to get mad about it. They just straight insult you. Like, I've been told so many times you're not black, even though I've posted videos of me, you know. I don't show my face in these videos, but I do show my hands, arms, and stuff like that. And people will swear to you that you're not black. Like, damn, I didn't know you get a tan that deep. But I digress. But how this feeds into what we're saying, what we're here to talk about today, you see the title. We promise you. I promise. Some of y'all are on the wrong side of history. And even if you get your way coming this fall with the election, you're still going to be on the wrong side of history. And my head has been hurting these last couple weeks because people have gone out here and going the extra mile for Heels Up Harris. They're going the extra mile by posting videos, attacking people in their comment section, reporting people's videos, all for this chick that ain't going to do nothing for you. And she's on record saying that. It's like nobody's using their brain. I made a video talking about 4 years ago, you had more money in your pocket than you do today. Where is the lie? A loaf of bread and some eggs is going to cost you over $10. Where is the lie? Even when we were on lockdown, the prices of food and stuff like that did not go up like that. Where is the freaking lie? Like, it's crazy to me that people don't understand what's going on. Like, I don't, all because of feeling. You know, identity politics didn't get us anything during the Obama administration, right? But anyway, let's get to this interview right here from The View. This was a couple weeks ago, but still relevant. Since I can't play, I'm just gonna show you a still. Oh, that's not the face you want. Oh, my bad, man. I'm sorry. Let me back y'all up off of that. But you but you see Whoopi's face right there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the audio. That's the video in the background, but I'm just gonna play the audio for you. All right. So this is them interviewing Jean-Pierre, this lying ass bitch. And you tell me what you think. Damn, where's my audio?
Fierce and vocal ally of President Biden. And right now, for the first time on TV, she is giving her view on his decision to bow out of the race. Please welcome back the fabulous Karine Jean-Pierre. In the midst of this insanity of a news cycle where people go, he's got to go, he's too old, he's too much. Where was your head when you are hearing people go at him like this as he's recovering from COVID at the same time?
So, look, you know, this has been an interesting couple of weeks, to say the least. But what has always been the case is it's always been a privilege and an honor for me to represent this president of the United States and be the White House press secretary for this president.
Right.
And at the end of the day, when you think about what he has done the last 4 years, when you think about who he has been as a human, as a person, by the time we're done, by the time we run through the finish line at the end of January, he would have done more than most presidents have done in 8 years. He would have done more in 4 years. And what we saw from this president the last couple days was a human decency, a good man, someone who decided not to put himself first, like we've seen before, but to put the American people first and this country first. And we cannot forget. We cannot forget what happened when this president and the vice president walked into this administration. There was a once-in-a-century pandemic. He turned that around. He recharged the economy. If you think about it, this economy is leading the world. I mean, this is something.
Hold on, let me stop right there for a second, right? Let me bring her on screen. Look at this face. Does this look like anybody's does this look like anybody's doing well? Like, she just lied to you with a straight face. Let me pull this out of the way. She just said we're doing better than any economy in the world. Interesting. We have $34 trillion in debt? And it only spiked up super high during this administration. This economy is doing better than anybody else in the world. When you got people who can barely afford groceries, the cost of living is up like 50%. Last time I checked. Rents are going up. Real estate is up. All because of the real estate prices. Because of the Fed. Because of the Fed interest rate. So we're going to keep letting these people lie to us. And yet we're doing so well. This is the same thing that Joe did when he did this last State of the Union address. He said we're doing better than we've ever done before. Crime is down. Money is up. To sum it up. Since when? I can't turn on the TV without seeing somebody knocking old ladies over. They get arrested and they let the people go. Nobody's going to jail for this shit. Nobody. But this is supposed to be the best administration we've ever had. Now, this was a couple weeks ago. This man's mental faculties have been declining for years. 4 years. Matter of fact, when did they post this? No, this wasn't even a couple weeks ago. I want to say this is 5 days ago. Now, I don't know what the hell she's talking about that we're doing so well. Let me back this up like 10 seconds. Let's see what she said here.
It was a once-in-a-century pandemic. He turned that around. He recharged.
False. He didn't turn anything around. He was handed a better economy than he ever had. During his administration, he was handed a good economy. Last time I looked, inflation was at 1.4%, and then when he took office, today it's almost 10%. I think it was 9.4 in a lot of places, and over 10% in some. Now, if you're talking about like Hawaii and Alaska, that's because of the cost of getting goods in those places. All right, let's continue.
The economy, if you think about it, this economy is leading the world. I mean, this is something, wages are up, jobs have been created, millions of jobs.
Pause. Wages are up. Okay. Now, in the construction field, wages are up because of the nature of the business, right? Where else are wages up? Because I was just looking on Indeed just for the hell of it. For my particular job, I'm in a union. The wages aren't up. They're still in the same place. When I did that first video talking about the pay scales for a lot of these construction jobs, And then I just looked at it on Indeed, on the non-union side. These regular jobs is posted, and it's still the same. Wages are not up. The only reason our wages went up is because of our contracts. But everybody else, their wages have not gone up. I couldn't tell you how many young people I see talking about jumping from job to job to job just to get more money. They have to threaten their jobs just to get more money. And if they get more money, they're gone. No 2 weeks notice, no nothing. Now, that's not saying that wages are up across the board, because if the money's good, people wouldn't be looking for jobs all the damn time. You wouldn't see all these vacancies amongst all these different companies. Because I could type in some bullshit on Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever. You're going to see thousands of jobs pop up. And because of the wages that they're at, because I saw a job that asked for an industrial electrician, and they were only offering like $29 or $30 an hour. That is a slap in the face when the average across the country is $35 for a regular electrician. Like your residential guys, the stuff in your house. You want guys working with up to 1,000 volts, maybe more, depending on what setting you're in. When I was over at Boeing, they had 13,470 in these mini substations. But what we dealt with was the 1,000 and the below side. We still had to go in there and mess with the panels, but the potential is there. You want me to do that for $30 an hour? You have lost your fucking mind. It takes less than an amp to kill somebody at those volts. Less than an amp. But wages are up. Show me where wages are up. These people just get on TV and they just damn talk. That's all they do is talk. No proof, no nothing. And that's why I start to get headaches when I hear people talk about these things. And don't worry, we're getting into what the main meat of the show is going to be. Because these people will sit here and lie to you and then come over to the men and point fingers and insult us and call us everything but our name if we don't support them for listening to bullshit like this.
Created, unemployment is low. We're trying to continue to lower costs, lowering prescription drugs. I mean, it goes on and on.
He even tried to fix the
Fair
border.
use.
And then the Republicans rejected it for dear leader.
Yeah, well, yes, they did. There was a bipartisan
Let her say it.
legislation in the Senate that. Look, this is another thing, right? This is a president who was able to work across the aisle and get things done, right? You think about the infrastructure legislation, the Chips and Science Act, the Veterans
gun
Act, gun legislation. We hadn't seen that.
Now, I will say this. The infrastructure thing, I haven't seen what's come of it yet, but I like that. That was a nice, I'm not going to take any credit away from them, but that was a good step in the right direction, because this is going to affect all of us. The infrastructure is going to affect all of us. The only problem with the infrastructure right now, it's going to take a while because there's not enough people wanting to go for these jobs. So I'll give them that. I will give you that. But other than that, no. Nope. You can't just come in here and do, one or two good things at the last damn minute and think we're going to forget about what you've done this entire time. It does not work that way. We're not this damn, what have you done for me lately? Oh, I did this for you lately, and we're just going to be in awe of it. No, we're not doing that. We are not doing that at all. You're not going to show up at the last minute with flowers and candy like we're idiots, and we're going to forget all the wrong you've done over the course of this 4 years. Giving all this money away overseas. When you got people here who can't even get a damn house. You're housing fucking immigrants, and you got homeless on your street already. It's a slap in the face to homeless veterans, people who live here, and because the cost of living has risen faster than their wages, like you just talked about, right? You said wages are up. Well, how the fuck, if wages are up, people still losing their homes? Explain that to me. How are you able to house immigrants and you can't house your own people? People who have paid tax dollars into the system, and these people just show the fuck up out of nowhere, and you're giving them money. It's been speculated they're getting $9,000 a month. The average person makes $50,000 or less. You just handed them 96. No, wait. 9 times 12 is that 108? 108. 108. You basically handing these people with their family 6-figure income for doing what? Hopping the damn fence. Yet you got people out here who can't even make it. And y'all want us to give you 4 more years of this shit. But there's a problem with what I'm saying. There's a problem. We're going to get into it. I'll let you know what the problem is. Let's continue. Damn, I thought I hit it. Here we go. Hey, what the hell?
In decades, and
There
this
we go.
president got it done. So to your question, Whoopi, I think about that. I think about why we are doing this job. We are public servants. We are.
Yeah.
And this president was a public servant for 54 years.
Yeah.
54 years. We're not done yet.
Yeah.
We're not done yet. Obviously, he stepped down from running and being the nominee, but he's very much still the president.
He's still got the job.
He still has the job, and we have a lot more to get done on behalf of the American people, and he wants to zero in and focus on that. He's going to be coming back to the White House today. He's going to be giving an address tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Please watch. He wants to talk directly to all of you, to the American people, to talk about what's next. And so I know he's looking forward to doing that, so please tune in tomorrow.
Well, in the past few weeks, President Biden had been adamant he was staying in the race, but after a lot of the noise we've been hearing, public and private, from Democrats for him to withdraw, he announced on Sunday he was going to not seek re-election. What ultimately led to that massive decision?
So, and I would also say, folks who have not seen the letter that he penned on Sunday and shared and released, you should. I think the letter, if you read it thoroughly, there's no spin to it. There's no spin.
No.
He truly believed it was the right thing to do in this moment. He truly believed that it was the right thing to do for this country. I'm a little emotional. The right thing to do for this country, the American people, is to give it to someone who is incredibly qualified, right? He said himself, the reason why he picked Vice President Kamala Harris is because he believed that she would be ready to lead from day one. And so he believed she was the right person to take over the campaign, and she is. And while all of us, it was hard for many of us, we are incredibly proud of this president. We trust his leadership, we trust his judgment, and we're just going to continue to be behind him as he continues to lead this country.
You know, people love Joe Biden. I mean, there was a great expression by his party, people talking on television all weekend about how much they love him. You know, because he is a lovable guy. Yeah. And he's got a good heart, you know, and all of that. There was a pylon to get him to step down by the Democrats, a lot of Democrats, and movie stars, George Clooney, for example.
I was tracking.
What?
I was tracking. I'm just kidding. We're trying to make a joke because I'm not good at it.
I'm sorry. I'm focused on the question. I'm sorry. But does Joe feel betrayed by any of that, or does he understand that it was for the country also?
I mean, look, he's going to speak tomorrow. We'll hear from him directly, and I think he'll...
Now, let me stop it right there. Before, still got a little bit on this video. This is an 11-minute video. Now, Joe didn't step down willingly. What they want you to forget, and they keep saying this, that he stepped down, he stepped down, he stepped down. And they keep glossing over the fact that they had a super PAC. And that article, I thought I saved it. I need to find it while I'm sitting here talking to you guys. But the super PAC said they were going to withhold $91 million worth of funding if Joe didn't step down, right? Right? So when you go to look for this, and I noticed this the other day, when you go to type in, this happened, let's see, what's today? July, it was like July 12th. They said withhold a bunch of money from him so he would step down. It's $90 million, so I was wrong. So basically, you had to twist this man's arm for him to step down. So nobody wanted Kamala Harris. It just so happened she was the only one left in the room. Nobody wanted this. So you twist the arms of the Democratic Party by withholding your donations. And there are like, 20 candidates for president, just like they had last time. We haven't heard from anybody else. But you want to throw Kamala Harris up here in our face and say that Joe endorsed him, but nobody else endorsed her. These delegates, she just now got the votes from these other delegates. It's like y'all forced them to roll over as well. Y'all waited to see how much money she was going to garner from independent sources before y'all really got on her side. Because this was after the Roland Martin 6-hour live castration of black males. But that's pretty much what it is. It was a castration party. Let me hand Kamala Harris our nuts and support her. Get behind her. And that's all I've been hearing. But let's listen to the last of this.
Address whatever is on his heart. Like you said, he has a big heart. He understands where people are. He understands having done this 36 years as a senator, 8 years as vice president, and now almost 4 years as president. He gets it. He gets where we are as a country. Let's not forget, there's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake, guys.
You're not kidding.
Our democracy is at stake. A woman's right to choose and to make decisions on their own bodies at stake. You know, and let me
people's incomes
are at stake. There's so much voting rights is at stake, and he gets that. I mean, let's not forget why he ran in the first place. In 2020, he decided to jump in. He didn't have to. He decided to jump in because he wanted to really save the soul of this nation. Soul of this nation. And so, look, I'm going to let him speak to this, and I think it's just really important that, I came on the show. I wanted to share my thoughts as the White House press secretary, as a person who has been speaking for him the last couple of years, but also to lift up what we have been able to do. And it's been historic, unprecedented, like never been seen before, not leaving community.
And look, not one of these ladies up here pushed back on this. This is the stuff they want to hear. Every last woman on this panel is well-to-do. They make millions for being on this show. Endorsement deals. Some of these chicks are on commercials. They're making a ton of money. They act like they care about your problems. They act like you helping them get this person in the office is going to help you somewhere down the line. This is the equivalent of the whole trickle-down economics. That's pretty much. Except we're doing trickle-down social issues. That if you put these people in office, they're going to make sure that everything's fair for everybody on down. And it doesn't work that way. It's like that special equality that a lot of people want. They want equality and not have to work for it. When what they really should be striving for is equity. And this whole platform of running on what is it, reproductive rights, this shit is going to fail. If that's all you have to offer to people, it's going to fail. You're not talking about the economy. You're not talking about our public safety, especially when you got proxy wars all over the place. You got the conflict in Ukraine. You got us sending money and pledging money to countries that we shouldn't give a shit about. Why are we giving them so much money and you can't feed the people here? And then you're feeding people that are coming here just so they can be your next voting block. We see the game.
Behind, making sure that everyone is included in decisions that he makes. And I think that's important. I feel seen. And I know many people that I work with feel seen because of this president and his leadership.
And all the great stuff he's doing for student debt.
The student debt.
He hasn't done shit for student debt. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That was an issue that came up right prior to him getting elected. He was supposed to do something about it, and a bunch of people stood in his way, right? They said the Republican Party stood in his way. And I agree with why they stood in his way, because hell, it shouldn't have been a rule in the first place. Democrats were in power when they passed them damn laws saying you couldn't discharge your student loans in bankruptcy. It was like a trade-off. Like, you want more people to get loans so they can go to school? Well, you got to be able to guarantee these loans for us, and that's what they lobbied for. So therefore, now you can't really discharge these student loans. They're forgiving a few at a time, but you still got $1.75 trillion in student loans. It's not like it's one person holding 1.75 trillion in debt. There are thousands, if not millions of people who all own a piece of it. And guess what? A majority of those are women. So let me think. A handful of people, I only know of a handful of people who've ever got their stuff relieved, and yet you still have 1.75 in debt, right? So that's telling you that a majority of people are not getting their debts relieved. And then this bitch up here talking about something, look at what he did for student loan debt. That was Whoopi that said that. Whoopi, the millionaire, said that. Like, hell, at least he did something. At least he gave y'all a few crumbs. That debt is crippling a lot of people. They can't really get their life started because they got these debts over their head. You think these creditors don't see this shit? You go to buy a house, you think they don't see this? That you got $200,000 in debt and you barely made a scratch in it? You think they don't see this? When they go to consider your debt-to-income ratio? And I've heard people lie and say that those student loans do not affect your home loans. Like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Bullshit. But yet, here we are on TV. This is why Trump called y'all fake news to begin with. Y'all not even a news station. This is The View. This is your views. This is your views. This is the same group of women who said that black women are going to make black men go to the polls and vote the way they're supposed to vote. Like, you got to be grabbed by the scruff of your neck, drug into the booth, and told who to vote for. And then this bitch right here in the middle said that they will vote for the Democratic Party. Like, you got to go have mama come tell you what to do and vote for the Democratic Party. This wasn't that long ago. It's not. It's not.
Got in the way.
Yes, they
They
did.
got in the way, and he's still working
They're
on
still
it.
trying to block
try to help people, don't they?
Yeah, I'm back with White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, who actually does have another gig on a stand-up stage. I'm just saying. Funny. Alyssa has the next question.
Well, thank you for being back in person. So listen, there have been a lot of criticisms about if the White House was transparent enough about Biden's health in the months leading up to the debate. But now calls have gone further, including vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance saying if he's not up to serving 4 more years, can he serve out the rest of his term? How do you respond to that?
I think that's ridiculous. Seriously.
He's ridiculous.
Not me. But what I will say is, like, the president decided to not run for re-election.
Fair use.
That's it. That's all he decided on. He wants to continue to do the work. 3.5 years of unprecedented historic work. I think that shows what he's capable of doing. I think that shows how important his leadership is. And moments ago, I talked about how he was able to reach across the aisle.
No, it don't. No, it don't. If he can't go another 4 years, that means his health is bad now. It means his health is bad now. It's like how they choose it. They don't understand what the words mean things. Okay? If he can't do the job right now, for another 4 years, that means he can't do it right now. He was not raring to go. That's why they asked him to step down. And it was clear during that debate. He is not all there. It hasn't been there for some time. So I like what I've heard people are trying to do, is they're trying to impeach Kamala Harris because she knew that his health was failing and she failed to do something about it. She undermined the public trust. And any one of her handlers, his handlers should be fired. The doctor should be fired. Everybody should be fired. You can't hide that kind of information. This is the person responsible for the nuclear football. And if his mind ain't there, who the fuck is going to punch in the codes? If shit really hit the fan, who's supposed to be giving orders to our military if his mind ain't there? Somebody was supposed to step up and do the right thing and take over. But they don't want to do that. This is the corruption that we've been talking about.
and do things in bipartisanship in the political environment that we're in. We have so much more work to do, and he understands that. He's going to speak to this in about 24 hours or so, and he'll lay that out. But this president is ready to continue to lead this country in a historic way, and that is stands.
I want to ask you something, and I also think people should be reminded that George Washington also showed this country how to step down and pass the baton, and so it's very patriotic that the president stepped aside. But is there anything else that the president wants to accomplish in his final months in office? Because before the events of last week, it was reported that he was set to call for a series of Supreme Court reforms, including term limits, an enforceable ethics code, a constitutional amendment eliminating broad immunity for presidents. Is this sort of still in the works, and can it be accomplished?
So what I will say is I don't have anything to announce at this time. The president certainly will share more when he's ready on those things, and he believes that if you hold high office, you're supposed to be delivering for the American people, so you should be held to a high ethics, right, and transparency. That's something that he believes, and I'm going to let him speak to that. Look, if I may, I have two stories I want to tell you really,
I'm
really
done
quickly.
with that, man. I've had enough of that shit, man. Enough. These people get on my damn nerves. So that was The View, right? That was 5 days ago. Okay? These people still think that Joe was good to go, that he was still good to go, even after he stepped down, right? Okay. Fair enough. Now that, after the showcase that I showed in the beginning, and then this particular thing where they're lying to you, this rolls us all the way into what I really want to talk about, right? They think we're stupid. Point blank, period. These folks think we are stupid, okay? That's all it boils down to. They think we're stupid, and they just want us to shut up and go away. So here's a report Machismo TV talked about. This is the Onyx Impact Initiative. Okay? Now, we've had a series of enemies in this space. They don't want us to talk at all about nothing concerning men and how we think. We're not supposed to be independent free thinkers at all. We're not supposed to. And it's getting to the point where they're targeting folks who have children, and trying to get them to influence those who have male children as well. They already think that they have the female children wrapped up, and they're pretty much going to all vote in line. It's like a hive mind. So how this relates to us is just by looking at the previous reports. I left the links in the description. You can find this on Onyx Impact's website, right? This document is no different than the ones we've done on Diverting Hate. Except the one for Diverting Hate mostly targeted the white guys in the space, and now you have a version that targets the black community. A lot of the talking points that you hear that's going on in this space come from black men, from what I've noticed. I've heard the lexicon of the black manosphere all over the place. I've heard it come out of many different races of men's mouths. Like it doesn't matter if it's like Indian dudes, white guys, a few of the very few Hispanic guys I've come across who's been talking the same shit. They've also had issues, and you can see you can see them using the same vocabulary that we use. So, since they know Diverting Hate didn't work, and they caught a lot of backlash, they took down a lot of their socials. So now we get the Onyx Impact report. So I'm gonna try to read through some of this and tell you why there's a problem with what I'm saying. So black communities hold immense power in our political system. In an era of unprecedented technological and social change, confronting the challenges created by misinformation and disinformation affecting black communities is crucial to ensuring the health and stability of our democracy. Okay. Now, right now, in my humble opinion, what's up, Saul? In my humble opinion, because of some of the issues we've had in the past, some of the activities that some of the ladies have done in the past, we are limited to only being effective in these political races in swing states. And what I mean by that is we had the numbers. If there was never a pregnancy deletion, we would have the numbers. Currently, we sit at what, 40 million? And you had about 20 million deletions. We'd probably be at 60 or better, which means we would have had the numbers. We would have definitely had the numbers by now. So we could have gone from being a swing state from affecting swing states to affecting elections overall. They would be kissing our ass right now if it wasn't for the fact that some of the ladies of the community like to Roe v. Wade. That's why they're so upset about it. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. And I've thought about this a long time. Like, we should have had the numbers by now. And a lot of these folks complaining about there's no good black men. Well, why don't you blame your homegirls for deleting them before, or your mama and them for deleting them before they ever got a chance? Y'all probably deleted some doctors, lawyers, politicians, future politicians, scientists, engineers were probably included in that number. Okay? So now you're beholden to a handful of swing states and trying to convince black men to side with you. But guess what? In the last 3 years, all y'all did was dig a finger in our chest and talk shit. You seen the videos at the beginning of this live. I showcased those on purpose. You're not going to talk shit to me and expect me to help you. I'm cold like that. But let me dig back into this, because this is just insane to me that they have to devise these sorts of strategies to try to wrangle us in and give us manosphere light or black manosphere light to try to change our minds. You can't put smoke back in a bottle. You can't. Not when we have eyeballs and we see exactly what's going on. Y'all are helping these folks bring about your own demise. You really are. From the immigrant crisis, then you got this document. Matter of fact, let me give you some of this document here. The 3 most significant narrative threats to black voter engagement in 2024. This is the same thing they said about Stacey Abrams' campaign. Misleading narratives about civic disengagement, Biden broken promises, and stoking division. Did he not do all of this shit? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen this for so long, but we didn't have a way to express it. Or if you were talking amongst your folks, like back in the day, you probably got popped in the mouth for saying that these folks are lying, or talking about the blue whoever they voted for. This is the same thing. Except since they can't spank us no more, they putting out these reports. They trying to take down your channels, trying to get you reported for misinformation when we all have eyeballs. Here we go. Far-right activist network, particularly black far. Why do we got to be far-right? Because we're conservative? Because we want families together? We want the crime to stop? The last couple of people I seen getting arrested in video were black women. People who are uncovered. People who live their life by their own choices. And when those choices caught up to them, now they got to steal and resort to crime. Isn't that the same thing y'all said about black men in the 90s and the things that black men dealt with in the 80s? When they don't have any resources, they resort to crime. But after being deprived of resources for decades, what did black men do? They figured it out. And through the use of channels like this and the rest of the brothers out here, Machismo TV, Saul T, Contractor, Mike Reed, Hoop Jargon, all the brothers that's on the internet right now, through the use of these brothers, we're passing along information. This happened way before we got online. People were in message boards, forums, passing information back and forth. Right now, you got more black men in college than you do in prison. How does that happen? Because brothers talk to each other. You get tired of being pasted all over TV. So where is the misinformation? Where is it? Where is it? We're cleaning up our image, so we got to be far right. Number 3, anti-immigrant narratives are prevalent across multiple black disinformation networks, and the risk of this narrative breaking out is high. Exactly. So this it's like we all see it, but y'all want us to ignore it. Who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? And then this piece right here about the immigrant part is breaking out. We got, it's not like the old days where somebody could report on something and you had to just take their word for it, or you read it in a newspaper, so you had to take their word for it. You got people with cell phones taking videos at the border. You got immigrants, they are so bold, they're taking their own videos of their own crossings at the border. I've seen this all over TikTok. People, they up here live streaming while they're crossing the border. Like, give me a break. The information is already out. So here we go. What did y'all do? Y'all got funding for this, and y'all wasted a bunch of money to tell us something we already knew. Y'all crazy. In the current media environment, black gateway influencers, platforms are critical to streaming. The rising of disinformation and reaching black audiences targeted by harmful activities. Okay. Basically, all these words to say that black podcasters, that's all they mean. It's like the same thing the brothers talked about last night on the panel show. I was in the audience, couldn't really join. You know, I normally spend time with my wife. I'll check in, type a few things, listen a bit. But this is basically what they're saying. There's a trend on TikTok right now where these ladies are complaining about red pillars and podcasters and stuff like that. They're complaining because we're waking a lot of people up. So is that disinformation? See, if you tell a lie enough times, people start to believe it. The only problem with their lies these days is that we all got microphones. We all got computers. We all have the ability to do exactly what I'm doing right now and highlight the documents and show you where they're lying. And it's funny to me. But yet they'll keep trying to tell these lies like, well, if I tell a stronger lie, maybe they'll believe me then. I got loyalty. My people got loyalty. Exactly. They can't do nothing about it. See, you got to lie to make us look bad. And all we got to do is tell the truth. That's the problem with what I'm saying here today. As I alluded to earlier, it's like they have a problem with, there's a problem with what I'm saying. They have a problem. Nuance is necessary. While this landscape strives to be a comprehensive overview of the current online disinformation ecosystem, what the hell is that? A disinformation ecosystem. You mean a truth teller system? You mean fact checking is now disinformation? When did telling the truth become a problem? When? Let's see. They've documented thousands of accounts within tangential to this black disinformation ecosystem. But we recognize that the intentionality spectrum of harmful discourse is broad and therefore focused on highlighting the most pernicious networks, narratives, and influences in these spaces. That's a lot of words to say YouTube. It is. It's a lot of words to say YouTube. I would say YouTube probably has the largest collection of all the men speaking out. It has the largest. Facebook is probably second. But that's a lot of words to say, YouTube. The thing about it is Facebook is a little bit more sensitive. That's why I wouldn't start a Facebook page or post videos, because it's easy for them to take your page down. I made a post about Black Lives Matter and called what they did blood money, and I lost my Facebook. I did on my personal, which is stupid anyway, but I did it on my personal. I lost my personal Facebook for 9 months. Took me forever to get it back. And the only reason I wanted it back because I had posted pictures from when I was deployed and stuff like that on that particular Facebook, and I couldn't get a hold of them because I was locked out. That's the only reason I have Facebook. Like, after that, I was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Y'all not about to censor me out here. So here we go. Confronting the challenges created by misinformation and disinformation affecting Black communities is crucial to ensuring the health and stability of our democracy. Yeah, that really happened to my Facebook. Like, it was crazy. Matter of fact, it was a post that I commented on Sean King. I called his because Sean King used to ride hard for Black Lives Matter, and you see how he living up in a mansion while everybody else is struggling, right? He made so much money off promoting that shit. And I saw this post. I'm about tired of his ass showing up on my feed. I was like, man, y'all up here celebrating all that blood money. All they did was get rich off the death of Black men, and I get banned. Crazy world, right? Black man gets banned for challenging a questionable Black man about Black Lives Matter. Interesting. So they say they're confronting these challenges created by misinformation and disinformation affecting Black communities. How? By what? By don't listen to them, don't trust them new niggas over there? Is that what they doing? Don't listen to the brothers in this space. They hate women. Because I hear that a lot. When you disagree, first thing I want to say, your mama Black, you hate Black women, you hate the community. No, I hate what the community has become. I hate lazy ass people who don't want to do for self. I can't stand folks that just want to ride other people's coattails, waiting for somebody to do something for them. We know who they're talking about. They don't. The crazy part is they don't want to say the names. At least I would give Diverting Hate some credit. They name names. They didn't get it. They exactly smear campaign and lies. They like to say you gay. You're exactly right. See, they don't want to. At least Diverting Hate had the balls to name names. They had the balls. They had the balls. I haven't seen a name in this thing yet. I briefly looked over it before I wanted to come in here and talk about where I see things going. And I promise you, the people that oppose us, you're on the wrong side of history, because when this shit falls apart, you're going to be looking crazy. Whether win or lose, we're good. We're good. If Kamala gets elected, we still win. The men over here, we still win, because we're going to watch this shit fall apart. Some of us are pretty insulated against what's going on, even today. And if our side wins, we still good. What about you? Yeah, that's correct. They don't want to name names, but we see it. See, gateway influencers and platforms. Let's see. Example, the Breakfast Club. What the hell? Yeah, that exactly. I saw what's crazy is I saw Black Men Build years ago, and I thought something was kind of odd about it, and I didn't, put too much stock into it. But to see them circle back around with this whole subscription service and and all this stuff. And what I noticed on one of those dates, they were supposed to come to a city I was in, and I don't think they ever came. A friend of mine was involved in that years ago on Facebook. I don't think I have him on my Facebook anymore, but he was involved in that and tried to get me into it. And I was like, nah, I don't know. I don't think I have the time. And I was on active duty anyway. That was the one thing that probably saved me. I would probably wasted my time. Probably would have been another Black Lives Matter. You see how they did the Brothers for Black Lives Matter chapters? The ones headed by men? They didn't give them any funding and pretty much treated them like outcasts. But yeah, I saw that. And their mission statement doesn't make sense. It was a well put together website, but it seems to me like a money grab. So let's see, gateway influencers and platforms. So they got the Shade Room, 19 Keys, Joe Budden, Earn Your Leisure, the Stephen A. Smith Show. Yep. Yep, they ousted all the dudes that was in charge of the Black Lives Matter things. Let's see. I represent authentic online black spaces that are often intentionally high-value targets for bad actors influence this network. So the critical role, but also the examples. So they basically called the Shade Room and Breakfast Club, which I agree with. These are bad. To me, the Shade Room and the Breakfast Club are bad platforms. Shade Room ran by a bunch of quiches. All they do is post stuff that's negative towards black men. The Breakfast Club is great at promoting the people you shouldn't be voting for. And they've done that. Earn Your Leisure, my opinion on them is that they've had a lot of scammers on their platform. They've had a lot of scammers. I don't believe them at all. Stephen A. Smith, his buck that dancing ass. Matter of fact, I think I got something for his ass right here. Hold on. Matter of fact, it's funny that he pops up in this document. Because there's a video I had it queued up for a second. Let's see. Let me pull this down real quick. Where is it at? Center screen. Bam.
The black elite is crashing the fuck out. They crashing out. They don't know what to do because black people have finally woken up. You will no longer hoodwink us with these identity politics that y'all been doing for 90 fucking years. You got Stephen A. Smith interviewing Roland Martin.
Quote unquote perfect candidate. But you know what she is at this moment in time? The best the Democratic Party's got. She's certainly better than Joe Biden. I don't believe she'd be better than Michelle Obama, but that ain't an option. And so that makes her the best we've got. And when you consider her prosecutor's background, when you consider her intellect, when you consider how feisty she can be, when you consider how she could pick Donald Trump apart in terms of the lies that he may tell. And she's younger.
You got Angela Rye crying like a...
Hold on. Now, I know this is a Keisha video, but like, this made me laugh because I caught it last night. And I was like, wait a minute. Stephen A. Smith said something? And it's funny that he pops up in this document. This man is on camera in an Easter suit. My brother, it's July. And you in an Easter suit. Exactly. Here we go.
Baby, because she just cannot believe that they don't have a black vote signed, sealed, and motherfucking delivered.
Post article came out about black people in Detroit not wanting to vote for Joe Biden and potentially voting for Donald Trump. When the uncommitted option came out, there were 100,000 plus people that voted uncommitted.
Saying you're a shill for the Democrats.
But I think, Tiff, that's their perspective. Yeah. And I think everything that's a different perspective isn't nuts. Like sometimes when people are so hurt and damaged, they go and do the other extreme thing, and it is not okay, and it's not cool, but it doesn't just happen politically. And I think it is irresponsible. Like, fine, you guys didn't like the video. Cool. That's not the point. If we're only talking to ourselves, that little bubble is going to continue to shrink until we suffocate.
And you got black immigrant Joy Reid trying to tell black America what the culture is. Baby, what is the culture? Explain to me what the culture is, because you ain't even the culture.
I just gotta say it.
Given the just stratospheric entrance of Vice President Kamala Harris into the presidential campaign, and she has now secured enough delegates to become the nominee, you're going to look real crazy being on the other side of that line, particularly as a person of color, but really as anyone who claims to have any connection to the culture. You're going to look real weird and real lonely on that side. The door needs to close behind Amber.
Ain't nobody listening to this
And
dirty
she looked
tennis
crazy
ball.
over there. But shut the door behind her. You really are going to look crazy being on that side, given the cultural phenomenon.
So basically, y'all up here taking black cards if we don't vote for this bitch? All right.
Of Vice President Kamala Devi Harris.
I want to say this. A lot of black elites, black media, black celebrities, really celebrities in general, the media in general, they have vested interests in who they're trying to tell you to vote for, okay? The black elites that are pandering, they do not live in your neighborhoods. So they are not suffering from the disadvantages in your neighborhoods. They do not send their kids to the schools that are underfunded in your neighborhood, that lack the resources or quality teachers, right? Right. These are multi-millionaires. And the lack of quality health care that we get, they have private health care. I say this to say, them telling us what's the best thing for us is irrelevant because they don't live with us, they don't live among us, they don't.
All right. That's enough of that Keisha voice. I get tired of that shit. I mean, she made some good points, but that damn voice, oh my God, it's on my damn nerves. But back to this document here, right? So we're the ones spreading misinformation, and these people are blatantly lying? Like they not getting a check off of it? Far-right activists and media outlets. Okay, Black Manosphere is a subset of the internet's manosphere. No. The Black Manosphere has become the manosphere. All the talking points come from us. All they do is polish it, and they've been stealing lingo. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times I've heard AC's his lingo being used, even on the news. I saw something the other day. It was a news outlet out of Texas. They used something he said in there, and then I'm starting to see it all over the place. I'm seeing like crazy work, a derivative of nasty work. You know, at first, you know, I was checking everybody that kept saying it. And then it got to the point where I was getting annoyed. Like, I'm tired of correcting these people now. We know where the talking point came from. We know where the lingo came from. Nasty work. Give AC his props. Black extreme nativists and separatists. You must be talking about the pro-black sector. That's pretty much what they're talking about. Yep, nasty work. I'm starting to see that everywhere. Everywhere. Health skeptics. So what the hell do they mean by health skeptics? See, we're not the problem. The ones with the problem with health. That's not us. It's like when in that one report where they tried to say that the gym bros were also misogynistic. It's like, damn, you can't even lift weights without being called a misogynist. Like, it's insane. Foreign actors. We don't care about that. If you believe people overseas or you get, tricked out or whatever, I don't care. And you see, they also got the same type of scale that Diverting Hate had. Yeah, that's all. They just throwing stuff at you just to see what sticks. And if they keep talking long enough and somebody of power gives them a microphone, eventually that's going to become an issue for us. And I like how they try to use these folks to try to draft legislation, or they'll come up with a committee and commission a think tank and then try to make they'll try to, they'll come up with a think tank and then try to develop some legislation to try to curb everything that's happening here. But you got a problem, though. This is freedom of speech. There's nothing you can do about it. And I'm not sure how they pulled this off. Let's see. Potential reach represents the cumulative number of subscribers and the top five actors. Okay. So a majority of people, yeah, pretty much weights. Yeah, that's pretty much what they said. Like, you lifting weights, now you're a misogynist because you in the gym intimidating people because you got more muscles than everybody else. Like, I've seen videos. I spend too much time on TikTok, man. I got to stop. This shit's starting to hurt my head. But you'll see this stuff all over the place. It's not like I go looking for it. It just falls into my lap sometimes. But yeah. Just like I first learned about Project 2025 on TikTok, so I went digging for it. I'm like, that's some bullshit. That's all it is, just straight bullshit. So how they came up with this, I have no idea. I mean, they say the top five actors main platform. So potential reach 9 point. Did they add up all the folks in the Black Manosphere for this? Did they add up all the far right? A lot of the far right channels got taken down because people don't want to hear what they got to say. Y'all infringe on everybody's freedom of speech. As a matter of fact, for everything that we do in this space, there is an opposite, an alternate version of what we do in this space to counteract the manosphere and the far right. You got liberal channels out there. You got feminist channels. Extreme feminist channels. One, which is still up to this day, who was dragging black men, had a channel art that featured a black man hanging from a tree while the little girl swung on it. And that channel is still here. The channel art changed because enough people complained about it, but that channel is still there. You couldn't get away with that. You couldn't get away with that at all. As a male, you couldn't do it. Black extreme nativist. Then they got all these different, then they try to fool you by putting a bunch of issues in the middle. This is an infographic, right? When I went to art school, it's a way of conveying a message, and it's a bit deceptive because notice that all these circles are the same size. So here's an example. All these circles are the same size. Okay. One circle should be bigger than the other based on the information that's in it. This 11 should be bigger than that 9.3 to show emphasis. By making all these equal sizes, it's like they're trying to demonstrate that all of these different spheres are of equal importance. So they're trying to say that the pro-black sector, the black manosphere, and black extremists are all the same. Foreign actors, even though they have only 2 million, like it's crazy, right? It's insane, right? You see this shit? So the foreign actors, the health skeptics, and the black manosphere are all the same. We all have the same amount of impact, even though you got 9.23 million people as a potential reach. See, these are some of the deceptive practices I think we talked about on the phone. These deceptive practices that they do, and I would like to fight the person who made this graphic. I really would, because this is a gross misuse of artistic ability, in my opinion. I'm kind of an art nut a little bit, you know? So then you throw all these issues in the middle. You throw all these issues in the middle, even though we don't even talk about this stuff, and then you attribute them to us. So we're over here, and you got anti-LGBTQ. We don't even talk about this stuff. We express our views on it. A lot of us just simply don't agree on it, and we don't want to get our channels. Be honest, we don't want our channels deleted because y'all view this as hate speech. If we talk about anything on it, exactly. And you know what? It's funny you said that. Somebody called me that the other day. I ended up blocking them. Like, I'm not going back and forth with you on this. That's what I had to demonstrate that I was black. I made a small video like, damn. So I guess this shit gonna wash off type videos. Because somebody kept calling me a Russian bot. Like, all right, comrade, whatever. But like all these issues, they attribute to us. Now, this one right here I found interesting is that the black gender wars. If you're in the pro-black sector, they worship females in that sector. They say black woman is God, right? So how are they warring with us about this? What is the relevance here? What's the relevance with them and the far right? Like, I don't understand this part. That part I don't understand. Like, we would say, like, no, you can't think of a woman as God, and that's the end of the argument. They keep saying it. We're not going back and forth with these people. I know I'm not. Not at all. Now, anti-immigration, this shouldn't even be an issue that anybody should be fighting on. Because my view on the immigration thing is when you have a pool of labor and you dump more people into the pool, then it becomes a problem. They don't have any incentive to increase wages because there are so many more workers than you need. They can plug and play. You think these people are coming over here with no education? Do you think these people are all just Mexican immigrants? No. These people are coming from all over. Some of these folks probably got their documentation with them, and some institutions will accept foreign degrees as if you got them on U.S. soil. The only degree that I've seen that people can't use from overseas is medical degrees. They make you have to earn like in certain spaces, you have to earn your citizenship first before you can practice medicine in the States. But all the rest of that engineering and those other PhDs that if it's cheap for me to hop my ass on a plane and fly to Mexico and then pay somebody to hop the border rather than paying, $10,000-$15,000 in fees to get my citizenship when I can just come right over and then tell them and beg them to stay. Simple shit, right? We should all be on one accord. You don't know who's in your country, and that's how you got 9/11, right? They didn't know those guys were there. I mean, people are not using their head. 40 point. The reason why people go to all these different extremes and they fail to express this, or they're not going to show their hand on this. The reason why men look for these spaces is because they figured out they've been lied to. People have sense. Most people can sense when they're being lied to or they're being deceived. And the best place to go and find out if you're being deceived is YouTube. YouTube is not just a place that hosts videos. YouTube is a search engine that is coupled with Google. So just about any piece of information you want, you're going to find it. You will never stamp out this space. They're mad we got a hold of it. It's like lightning in a bottle. We have the ability to influence so many people by telling the truth. People are more receptive to the truth, by the way. And that's what they have a problem with. That's why this election is not going to go easy for them. And insulting black men, it's not going to go well for you. Those shaming tactics don't work. If anything, it pisses me off. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm voting the way I'm voting is because somebody pissed me off. I'm going to vote against you just because you pissed me off. And I'm happy to say that. I'm not voting for people just because they're black, just because they're female. I'm really voting for my interests. And I have even more incentive to do so because y'all done pissed me off. I want to see if I can find, matter of fact, I'm going to scroll, give me a second. Let me go through this TikTok here. My profile. Let me see what I can find here. And I'm going to show you an example of some of these folks that, this is what I'm dealing with. Because like, not only am I dealing with this shit on YouTube, I'm dealing with it on TikTok as well. So let me drop that off. This is a video I did the other day. Some people got some real issues. You gotta excuse my using my headset today for once. But yeah, some people have some real issues. Like, we're talking about the whole election and Kamala thing, and because I have a differing opinion, a lot of people want to accuse you of not being black, so let me go ahead and disprove that real quick. But because you're black, we don't have to agree or disagree. Because you're a certain color, you don't have to agree or disagree. You can just state your opinion and keep it moving. I do not like Kamala Harris. I really don't. I don't. I know her record. I know what she's done. I'm not voting for that garbage. I mean, do y'all really want 4 more years of the same shit we just had? And she's a part of it. You got a part. So please tell me sitting on the back of the truck, why any of us should continue to go down this same path. Okay. There are other candidates out there. You don't have to vote for Trump. You don't have to vote for Kamala.
Yeah, that's just one example, right?
Vote for whoever.
That's just one example. Let's see, let's go to the inbox. People do not like when you have a difference of opinion. Let me see if I can find them, because there's a few people I had to end up block. Let's see. Hell's he at? I think I reposted, dude. Oh, here we go. This dude responded to my video with a stitch of his own.
You know what, bro? You know the crazy thing about that, what I just thought about?
Oh, shit. Didn't mean to put that up there. Yeah, I got you.
How indoctrinated blacks are. They'll say that to each other. You ain't black because you don't think the way they is, call you a coon and all this stuff, right? Even the other races of people can say that. You know how Joe Biden was like, you ain't black if you don't vote Democrat. So they can tell you ain't black and shame you. But don't you notice something about whitey them? They'll be like, oh, you just a liberal. You this, you that. But they never tell each other, you ain't white. I ain't never heard no other race tell each other, you ain't Asian. You ain't A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, you know what I mean. You ain't Mexican. You ain't this. You ain't that. I ain't never. Black folks the only ones say this stuff. We know who the main ones be saying this shit. I'ma always point their finger at they motherfucking ass. Cause it started with them. Don't no other culture do that but blacks. That's weird as hell, man. I just really thought about this shit. I ain't never heard no other race say this shit. You ain't white. Even the one try to perpetrate to act like they black, they still don't tell them you ain't white. Oh Lord, oh well. Yeah, you black, bro. I don't know what they talking about.
A lot of people.
Yeah, see what I mean? Oh man, I be catching hell on TikTok, man. This shit is funny to me. But yeah. But we're on the wrong side of everything. We're the ones with the misinformation, the far right ideologies, the far right thinking. In fact, I would go on and say that we're the most peaceful ones here. We may not be nice about what we say. We may be a little. No, I'm not even gonna say that. Like we may be abrasive for what we're saying, but compared to what I've seen come out of the left side of things, I would say we're the ones trying to articulate for peace, asking people to act right, asking people to build families, take care of the responsibilities, do things with purpose. And somehow we get labeled and lambasted for our views. Our views may be rigid, but it's what keeps people safe and keep people grounded, basically. But we're wrong. Y'all got to commission these reports. Y'all got to spend millions of dollars to perpetuate a lie. Y'all got to. Like this section right here, we cannot underestimate the power of this network.
Because young men and boys are waking up and not paying attention to you? We got to be black far right? And this is not just black men, this is all men. A lot of men have woke up to the fact that the jig is up. Y'all been telling us what to do for far too long. How you should act, how you should feel. You're basically telling men what they're supposed to do for the society and don't expect anything in return. And I've seen that. Protect, provide, shut up. We saw that with the bear. We saw that with the gentleman who keeps going back and forth to jail with tattoos on his face. And yet somehow we pointed out we're wrong. We point out that people's choices are their choices. Don't get mad when you make these choices and things don't turn out the way you want it. But when I started this channel, and I'm gonna get back to it, I got some updates to do on some of these career fields. But when I first started this channel, I was doing the blue collar stuff heavy because that's going to be one surefire way to help people improve their situation. There's other ways to do it without doing a whole lot of work, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. I go for what I know, what I'm an expert at. And I would always get people in my circles who would talk about how much money they made. Okay? And they would get upset because they're not making enough money. So then I would tell them, like, well, this is what you could make if you did this. And a lot of people just don't want to do it. It took me 5 years to convince my brother to become a low volt electrician, right? And then he quit on it. I mean, the man was making $30, $40 an hour and he quit on it. And now he's right back to where he was, making $26, $27 an hour. He claims he's happy, but I know he's not. He's working more hours to make the same money he would have been making on an 8-hour-a-day job at $42 an hour. Now you tell me, does that sound like I'm telling somebody the wrong thing to do? And you get you get that type of advice all over these spaces. You get that type of advice. Don't be a simp. Don't let people take you for granted. Don't buy people things if they're not your significant other or your spouse or whatnot. That is saving men's lives. That's keeping them from going down these dark paths a lot of us have gone down. Telling people that they should be asking for something for their vote. How are we wrong? How are we wrong for telling people that this society is not built to take care of everybody? How is it wrong telling folks that, hey, if you don't stand up and use your voice, you'll never get heard? Those are the undertones of what we do in this space. And it's funny, we've had to go on the offensive to point out, we've been on the offensive the whole time, but now we're playing defense, trying to guard ourselves against these bullshit reports. I mean, these are BS reports. I mean, look at it. Even in the face of the housing crisis and people getting free place to stay, we get a report that tells us this anti-immigrant narrative is disinformation. How is that possible? This is why they dumb down the schools. Because if you put enough words together, most people don't understand what's being said. And I'm not calling all people stupid, but I'm just saying, like, because of the way things are now, it makes me think this way. Anti-immigrant narratives are breaking out across multiple black disinfo networks. immigration is okay in small doses. You're hearing it here. It gives society a time frame from which to work with, to where you can absorb these extra people into the society. So you get some people, let's say we allow 10,000 per year to come in. It's a pretty small number, right? Over the course of 5 to 10 years, they would have assimilated into society. Hopefully the economy has grown by then to provide enough jobs for these people who came in when they came in. And everything's all good. But when there's a free-for-all at the border and there's an estimated 20 to 50 million people who just hop the border, our economy cannot absorb all those people all at once. Like, nobody's really thinking about that. It takes time for this country to grow to catch up with the population. You're essentially going to end up overpopulating the United States and making us just as bad as some of these other countries. But if we speak out on it, we're wrong. I don't know how many different ways we got to put this, because it's not just going to affect black people. This is going to affect everybody. They're bankrupting medical systems. They're bankrupting cities who don't have the money to house all these people. I saw something where New York has to cut trash. Yeah, exactly. India. I've seen the pictures of India. That place is freaking, oh my God. You think New York is a shithole or rat infested? Look at India. Look at India. But yet we're wrong for saying something about immigrants. Somehow we're racist. I've been called a racist. Black man being called a racist for not agreeing with all this immigration. The more people you have, the cost of labor goes down. Them folks in India are getting paid like $5-6 a month to cut up ships. Yeah, it's definitely a public health concern. You got these dudes over there in India with acetylene torches cutting up old cargo ships and old decommissioned ships just to get the steel. They're making like $1 a week or some shit. I remember watching a documentary on it because they are so overpopulated. That job is dangerous. Somebody dies every day on that job. And yet, this is what we're looking at. The powers that be want our country to be like Qatar. If you've never been to Qatar, what happens in Qatar is you have the royal family and the wealthy, right? You don't see any busted Hondas. You don't see none of that shit. Them folks bust their labor into the cities and where the nice places where the wealthy live, right? They bust them in. They come in, they work, and at night, they send them home except for the night staff. And you don't live in the same city. Those migrant workers don't live in the same city where the rich people live. So when we went out at night and we went to the restaurants, we didn't see no bums. You didn't see anybody who wasn't dressed to the nine. The shittiest car I saw was a Mercedes-Benz AMG. That was the shittiest car I saw. Everything else was either these expensive-ass Land Rovers. Yep, exactly. Those expensive Land Rovers, and everything else was foreign exotic cars. And I think that's what they want for our country, because they keep, the UAE, they keep widening the gap between your money and the rich people of this country. Look at all that damn insider trading that damn Nancy Pelosi doing. Yeah, I said it. That's the only way you can get rich like that. That's what they want to do to this country, but we got a problem.
We're wrong for that. Pretty soon, have you not noticed that when people got money, they moved out to the suburbs, right? They moved out to the suburbs, and then the rich people moved out to the suburbs. And then everybody else had to move back to the city because the house cost of living was too much. And now the rich people are moving back to the city, right? Look at New York City. And now people are back outside the city because they can't afford to live in the city. You're watching this country transform into Qatar and the UAE right in front of your eyes. If we don't do something about the migrant crisis, there are going to be so many damn people here. You're going to be working, you're going to be doing what I do, hooking up houses and stuff for $5 an hour. Wages can always go backwards. I don't know if y'all realize that. That's what inflation is doing. And I don't think people understand that. But, you know, and if you don't understand it, I can't really blame you if you have never set foot outside the United States. But believe us when we tell you, some of these countries are messed up and they're trying to do the same thing here. These people got so much money. I watched the dude, his phone died. He threw an iPhone in the trash. Walked into the store, picked up another one. He was part of the royal family. A whole iPhone. And then before you ask, did you go get the iPhone out of the trash? No, I did not, because that shit was in Arabic, and I wasn't sure if, you know, it would work, like if we left. And we were there for like, what, 2-3 weeks? On R&R. You will see some stuff outside this country. The stuff y'all complain about is nothing. If you worked all day, like 18 hours a day, and then had to get on a bus and go home, and you only had enough time to go wash your ass and sleep, and that was your life, come on now. All right. So strategic guidance. We're on page 7. It's only an 11-page document, so I appreciate it for being super short. They want to develop robust strategies to engage Black gateway influence immediately. Like, these people got to listen to y'all. If Candace Owens is on the Breakfast Club, we should have our trusted messengers on 10 times. Who y'all going to send? Who y'all going to send? They got to be popular, and you may have to pay some money to get on the Breakfast Club. And nobody's going to watch we don't watch the Breakfast Club around here. I pull like viral clips from them, but I don't watch them. So you're wasting your time. Talking to me and trying to influence me, you're wasting your time. You know, that's why I made that video where I had to show my harm and stuff like that. I will not be bullied. I will not be influenced by people who are against my values and my interests. Identify resource as many Black trusted messengers and media as possible. What the hell? There is a crisis of trusted messengers in our community. That part is caused by the attacks on the news media and the spread of disinformation globally. Onyx Impact focus groups showed y'all started this shit. All this stuff with the trusted messengers, y'all started this. First, they came from the church. And a lot of these individuals who came from the church did not live up to what they were preaching. They didn't. You can't be sleeping with the congregation, stealing money, putting your kids through school with that money, while the people of your community can barely do anything. Nah, son. Nah, we're not doing that at all. And then after that, you sent these BS people talk shows. You sent newscasters. Hell, y'all did this to yourselves. This is your design. This was y'all not interviewing people when you had the chance who actually knew what the hell they were talking about. See, y'all gave all the spotlight to these idiots and people that became popular, and they became, later on when the internet became a big thing, they became memes. You remember what was his name? Sweet Brown? Oh, Lord Jesus, there's a fire. Y'all interview the dumbest people in the community, or the people that, you know, when something happens, when you interview people in the community trying to gauge the temperature of that community, y'all find the dumbest people you could find. You don't talk to the brother in the business suit that happened to be passing by and ask him, what do you think the problem is here? Well, you know, and he will probably tell you that there's a lot of young men out here and no opportunities. Now, instead, you go interview some other chick who's only interested in the drama. So even the news people can be bad messengers. Or what about the many years that they threw black men on TV as if there weren't other heinous crimes going on all over the country? And then these white supremacists were saying that you're responsible for half of all crime. You mean the 20 million, the small percent of the 20 million black men in this country is responsible for half of all crime? Last time I checked, I didn't see too many black faces on Ponzi schemes. Isn't that a crime? The folks that have been draining people retirement funds, stock, wire transfer fraud. A lot of the drugs in this country, they don't have black faces, right? The guns, definitely. Like, you wouldn't notice Tyrone with a shipping container full of weapons. Funny how that works. But race aside, well, they're not race aside, but y'all did it. Y'all did this shit. From the Oprahs and all those folks at that time. That's all messaging. It's too late to fix what you've already tore down. Y'all missed the boat. Y'all had an opportunity to talk to brothers back when they were formulating all these ideas. Y'all missed the boat. Y'all weren't listening before, and now you're listening now because you're in a big panic. You're in a huge panic. Because now it's getting real. It's like that time, like when you know you're about to get in trouble and your mom was about to get that phone call from school. That's how y'all feel right now. Expose and discredit bad actors in the core black disinformation networks. I'm scared to click on this. Washington Post. Let's see what this says. Let's open this in a browser. Allow. Okay, let's see here. What did that say? Disinformation campaign stokes fears about, oh Jesus. All this what's up with y'all with these damn paywalls, man? Like what is up? Matter of fact, let's see if I can pull this. Oh shit. Hang on, let me see if I can pull it off. Damn it. Here we go. Let's see if I can get around it. Sometimes, oh no, it's not gonna let me do it. Damn it. If I can get that window to go away, I probably can. But yeah, you used to be able to get around these paywalls by hitting Control P and hitting print before this window shows up, but I guess they got smarter than that. I'll have to give an email and do a trial later and read that later. All right, so let's see. Where's my chat? Real quick, let me pull that back up. But yeah. So expose and discredit bad actors. We read that already. Create strategies to expose key bad actors. Basically just plotting on us like they normally do. Remember back in 2015, they had a whole list and they were targeting channels, getting people to spam the channels with reports. And those channels would disappear like overnight. Before, there were no explanations, from what I understand, listening to people who've talked about that in the past. Now they give you an explanation. They at least allow you to download your materials off of your YouTube channel if your channel gets deleted. You can download your videos, which is great because that's your property, and then re-upload them later to like another website that starts with a P. All right. Aggressively counter revisionist history. Oh, wait a minute. You mean like the revisionist history saying that, y'all were out there in the fields working alongside the men during slavery when a majority of the time you were not. Before, they used to only ship men, and those men worked until the day they died. It wasn't until towards the end when they started outlawing slavery, they started grabbing women too, mostly a lot of women too, so they could make their own homegrown slaves. I think that part gets missed. So we got a lot more skin in the game than y'all do. Found a lack of effective counter narratives against harmful revisionist history. You mean like all this color purple talk? Color purple, anyone? Anybody got color purple on their bingo card? Anybody? They well-funded misleading narratives are gaining traction and shaping perceptions, attitudes about the past and present, targeting Black audience with messages that undermine the legitimacy of civil rights movements and progressive causes. You mean like how the feminists got y'all to join them and then you turned on everybody else? Interesting. A message from the CEO. A message from the CEO. Believes that Black people deserve brilliant, resilient information. No. People have listened to y'all long enough. They have listened to y'all long enough. And we see the fruits of your labor. We see the results of your leadership. Still at the bottom. And still crying about equality. Still crying about racism. You don't hear Black men crying as much about racism. We figured out ways to move. We understand that racism exists. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, but you can move differently while observing people. Be aware and move accordingly. Get your money and move accordingly. See, what racism used to do was keep you out of a job, keep you from making money. And often it came with some violence, right? That's not so much anymore. The violence part. It still happens, we know. But that's not so much anymore. They can't really, there's so many different ways to make money online, so many different employment opportunities. There's not enough of these people to go around to stop you everywhere you go. So, y'all can cut it the hell out. If you can't get anywhere, when you as young Black men and boys have to get it out the mud and really rise above everything by pulling themselves up by their bootstraps with no resources. Again, we leave the house with no resources. A lot of times we're kicked out of the house and we're able to thrive and survive. Y'all should be listening to us. Matter of fact, y'all will listen to us because eventually you're going to run out of gas. You can keep coming up with all these damn reports all you want. They're not changing a damn thing. As long as we're here guarding the minds of young men, y'all don't stand a chance. And it's funny how in a short period of time, in a very, very short period of time, we have influenced elections. We've influenced policy. And we've pretty much shaped the views of young men today in a short period of time just by using the internet. See, this goes to show you that the truth is more powerful than your lies. You can't silence everybody. Because I could take this channel down and I could pop up with a new one. Brand new avatars, brand new artwork. I could do it all. See, you can't do nothing about it. And Saul said it earlier. There's nothing you can do about it. Stop lying to people. I'm passionate about people telling the truth. Stop lying. And let's see, historical lens. They didn't really say anything here. and discourage people from just investing in black community, investing in black people, period. Okay. You got to invest in the right people. I kind of agree with this, but you have to invest in the right people. You can't invest in Dr. Umar. You can't do it. All right, so last page, we can fight in this new growing threat to democracy. How are we a threat to democracy? We know who they're talking about. They're talking about us. How are we a threat to democracy? We're actually practicing democracy by having this discourse. Because we don't agree with you doesn't mean we're a threat. Remember, the basis of our entire system is based on majority rule, right? So obviously, if you're not in the majority, you're in the minority and you disagree with the people on the other side. Did they take down democracy? No, they did not. The rule is majority rule. So the people who don't agree, they still got to do it. And if we are in the minority and we disagree and shit happens, we got to deal with it, right? It's y'all that don't ever want to be on the receiving end of anything. You can't make men take all the responsibility for everything and then you turn around and reap all the benefits. Or things always go your way. We're not doing that anymore. This country has gotten fucked up because y'all keep pandering to people based on identity. Because you want to identify with people overseas, therefore we send the money. You identify with somehow, I don't know how y'all do it, but y'all identify with people getting hurt overseas, so we send aid. What about the people who are responsible for those people overseas? We don't control those countries overseas, technically. What were their leaders doing when they needed food? What were their leaders doing? Exactly. Like, what were their leaders doing? Like, where did the money go? Like, why are we helping Ukraine fight? Did y'all not think to buy ammo? The hell is wrong with y'all? What, you got a Colt 45 with the same 2 bullets you had since 88? What the hell were they doing? Like, every country should have stockpiles. Like, I think I got about 400 rounds in my house. I normally don't dip below 1,000. But we went out and shot a few times, right? Exactly. Especially when chaos happened under their watch. Exactly. You know, the chaos overseas, the chaos at home. We shouldn't be listening to any of these folks. Y'all are allowing people, these crazy ass laws in some places, these folks are not allowed to apprehend people walking out of the store with shit. And if I didn't have any type of morals, I would have walked out of the store yesterday with a gallon of E&J. Just because. Just because. You allow chaos to happen at home on your own soil and not realize that it always escalates when you don't correct people. And the majority of these people out here that's arguing with us, they have children. When you don't correct the child's behavior, the children's behavior gets worse. Adults are no different. If I can keep getting away with something, and this is what criminals do, as long as they keep getting away with it, they keep doing it. That's how you end up with people with like 20, 30 charges on their rap sheet. Hell, the dude that broke in my car, they found him because he had some of my property. His rap sheet was 3-4 pages long, and he was only 18. That was 3 years ago. He still ain't went to court because I can't get my damn handgun back because he still ain't went to court. And they're going to hold it until they prosecute his ass. This motherfucker broke in my car, used my tools because I was going to another job site, cut my lockbox out of my car with my tools, and took all my shit. I've been waiting 3 years to get the handgun back. The tools I can't get back, but the handgun he got caught with. Y'all watch all this chaos, and that was during Biden's administration, where they barely prosecuting anybody. They letting people walk. This no bail shit, that was Kamala, right? Interesting.
More foundational research is needed in this space to better inform action and policy. Again, what I talked about earlier, they're using their BS research into our spaces to form policy to keep us from doing what we're doing. I'm curious to see what a policy would look like that will restrict men from talking to young men and boys about how they should move in life. Me telling a young man that he doesn't have any safety nets is a problem. I tried to break this down to a few people in my circle. I was like, look, you do realize that as a man, you're walking around with no safety nets, right? You're basically on a tightrope and you can't fuck up. And I've told them that. And then when they got into a jam, like when they lost a job, got into a jam, and they didn't have any money or whatever, and unemployment was taking a long time to come through, they came back and said, "Hey, you're right, man. Nobody stepped up to help. Nobody. Like, you're right." Came back and told me you're right. Yeah, I figured that out a long time ago. See, my mother didn't sign my paperwork so I can go off to college. That's how I ended up in the Army. To get my college money, right? This damn Keisha would not sign the FAFSA form back in the day because I think back then your parents had to put their income and fill out a bunch of stuff on it. She wouldn't fill it out, wouldn't sign it, nothing. Never gave me a reason why, nothing. So, all right, bet. I'll go get my own college money. So I signed up for the Army, right? 22, 24 years later, I retired. Doing pretty well for myself, right? I would pass that information on to other young men I encounter. Like, hey, look, there's always a way out of your mama's house. You may not like it. It may be tough. But it'll give you some benefits and a stepping stone, and you're less likely to die in combat than you are driving to work. That's the information we pass along. And yet we don't get the same shine as everybody else because we're passing along good information. Y'all want to highlight, people like Fresh and Fit, like that represents all of us. Like, hell no. That's not us at all. See, Kevin Samuels was more like us. And I forgot to mention Rich Turner too, because that's another brother I respect in the space as well. Keep It 100, Dr. Tiasan Johnson. Don't really fuck with BGS like that, but you can't argue with some of his research and some of the knowledge he's acquired over the years. I just don't like the way he goes about it or berates people. You can't disagree with that dude at all. That's my only issue with him. You can't disagree, and somehow he thinks women are supposed to be in this space or some shit like that. But anyway, but we know who they're talking about. They basically took a big ass shot. Well, not a big shot. They took a shot at us with this report. That's all it is. They just took a shot. Did it work? No. Will it work in the future? No. Are we going to keep working on what we're doing? Yes, we are. See, these channels that I follow and the brothers I support on here, they're going to keep building. They're going to keep building. They're going to keep building. They're going to keep getting stronger. They're going to keep working it. This shit right here, y'all are full of shit. And in the words of AC, this is nasty work. It really is. It blows my mind that people think that we are so stupid, we can't think for ourselves. We can't collectively come together and have an intelligent conversation. I mean, you saw some of the insults. I showed a few of them from TikTok. There are so many. I gotta favorite the comments, and I'll come back and show those comments of the things that I've been called, even showing some of the stuff. Like one of those videos I showed up here, I turned it into a video on TikTok, right? People are pissed. I'm like, I didn't even make the shit, right? This. Look, I've been promoting Machismo TV on TikTok, right?
by making
What's
this
up,
post.
fellas?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. And I made sure to keep
Welcome to the
name
show.
on, right?
Every single day.
83 comments.
A new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such you see, and they're
Make sure y'all subscribe to Cheese No TV, right?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
right?
and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid predicaments, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Hey, look at this shit, right? I just had to laugh at this one, man. Hold on, matter of fact, I forgot I got the display up. All right, so this is one of the community posts.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single
This shit was funny. I've been promoting y'all on TikTok. I got 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Cause everybody's such you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid predicaments, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. It all over again.
Yeah, when y'all get a chance, y'all gotta pull that song. Shit is funny to me.
Welcome to the
shit show. Matter of fact, let me go back. There's another one. Oh shit, I didn't mean to hit that again. And this one came from, I want to say this one came from Dr. T. No problem, man.
Now look at this.
This is on Dr. T's. I saw this on Dr. T's post first.
Now look at this. I'm on the road now to happiness. Just kind of feel
and this
a
is in
little
response to
emptiness.
you get back
Drank
now.
all this
Closet
Henny
black
'cause
men
of
Trump
loneliness.
executed under his watch.
That's how I'm passing my
The most of any
time.
president.
No money
So I told
might
him, like,
think of a
since
crime. Can't
Hang on,
do
let me
it.
pause the music. I told him make it yourself. And I still don't know what they're talking about. Executed more black men under his watch. Like, did I miss something? Did I miss a memo? It wasn't 47 people that went to jail. If you got locked up, you went to jail. You didn't stay, but you went to jail. I don't think people understand that. Don't forget, black men are the most exonerated because of bogus charges. We don't know for sure if these black men committed these crimes. California has a history, which is true. They have, well, most states have a history of locking people up for no reason. We wouldn't have that, what's the name of that organization that works to exonerate a bunch of people, and most of the people that they exonerate is black men, right? So that's fine. Don't forget Trump's past. Trump's past. This is the shit I go through. I get a headache. Trump's past has nothing to do with what happened to any of us, right? Whatever he did in business doesn't bother me. It hasn't bothered me at all. Has not had any bearing on my life. But Joe Biden passing that crime bill sent a few people I know to jail when we were teenagers, and by the time they got out, see, they went to jail when we had fucking flip phones, right? The fat ass flip phone. Next time I seen these dudes even post on a post on Facebook, they just got Facebook. You went from having a big ass brick and getting out, and the technology advanced so much you have touchscreen phones. Yeah, the Innocence Project. Yeah, I think that's one of them. There was a big one in Texas, but I can't remember what the name of it. It's probably we're probably talking about the same one, but yeah. So even with all these people on here, a few of them spent some time in there, but that doesn't negate the fact that she's kept people past their prison release for free labor. And the brothers talked about that last night on the panel. But, you know, people do not want to see you talk about the truth. They don't want to see it at all. So I did this one talking about the student loans.
What have we here?
I even pulled up a excerpt from the bill. And then you get these detractors right here. No, he has not. Only a small number of people have gotten their loans redone. But there were more, but some of these got filtered out because people you can't say whatever you want on TikTok. It's just one of those things. All right, tough guy. And then this guy, when I talked about the crime bill. And you get a lot of people that agree with you. These are all the brothers that agree with us. If you're trying to prove how things gotten worse going back to 1993, that's not the way you do it. Like, this is one video I gave an example of some people I knew who went to jail in high school. Small possession. Well, and that's pretty much what it was. Small possession, right? Possession charges in Maryland. And you going to jail for like 15 years, man, as a teenager, and you get out, we're grown men. Fuck out of here. And I like this gem right here at the bottom. I'm trying, but they not talking to me now. Mainly the elders. They've been programmed. Republican are racist, but that's a racist point of view. But somehow, we come back over here. It's misinformation. Showing people the documents, supporting evidence, data, and the whole nine. Exactly. Like, it's when y'all get a chance, man, like, go type in something controversial on TikTok and just go watch the comment section. Matter of fact, leave a comment that is opposed to what the general comments are saying, and watch what happens. It gives you a peek into the mind of the way a lot of these people think. Even when you show them the evidence, the people are being purposely obtuse. Like, it's like, I had a headache yesterday. I was going through my mentions and all that on there, and I'm sitting there like, damn, I'm gonna do one of these days. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna find a bunch of live streams, and I'm gonna go live right there on the spot from my PC. That way I can show you what they're talking about in real time. As a matter of fact, I bet you I'll find family? One. Before Fellas, I get off here, I bet you I'll find one real quick. I don't care which way. Where we at? Oh, that live ended. Let's see here. Let me click on another one. Let's go up.
Questions on the features or the functionality, please let me know in this chat.
Because I see them pop up every now and then. There are some figures that I don't really get down with. Yeah, that's the new front.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, I used to believe.
I just support everybody black.
We have to go.
I'm here with find it. Look this every now and then you'll find live streams. Let me get this out the way. Mute that for a second. The fuck just happened? Oh, here we go. Here's one.
Yeah, it's hearsay, just like if SA is like better than grape to you, then I'll just say that.
Whatever. Anyway, why are you electing Kamala Harris?
Thank you so much, sweet honey, for the $5 cash out. You know, I don't know. Why do I want Kamala to be president?
Yeah.
Amanda, thank you so much for the perfect beats.
I have actually a question. Would you rather it be Kamala Harris or another elected official?
I'd rather it be Kamala Harris.
Over any other DNC Democrat?
Yes, I would rather it be Kamala Harris. It's Kamala, by the way, not Kamala. I made the same mistake, but it's Kamala. So yeah, I would prefer it be Kamala Harris. She supports a lot of the bills in which Biden has already put out as when she was his VC. That being like more clean energy, incentivizing companies for bringing their money back to the states, increase in job production. Thank you so much for the galaxy, my love. Of course. Also that she talks about a woman's right to choose. She's 20 years more experience in politics than Donald Trump.
Bop.
Shania, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you, my love.
Always talks about.
So,
okay, what are your opinions of her as the DA of San Francisco?
Right now?
What would that entail?
Like,
her harsh policies against the black community, harsh policies against criminal reformation.
Oh, what are your opinions about Donald Trump saying that 5 young black boys should be sentenced to death?
That's not what I
For a
asked.
crime that he didn't commit?
I completely agree.
I'm just gonna make
I'm
sure.
with you on that. I don't like the Parkland 5 thing. Listen,
Okay,
I saw
so
that,
just like
but
how you
also-
don't like the Parkland 5 thing, I also don't agree with everything that she does.
Okay, that's great, and that's what I wanted to know. But listen, about the Parkland 5 thing, that was before any evidence of police corruption was ever entailed to the public. So you can't really.
It doesn't matter. He called for the death penalty of children. Anyway, so
if y'all. So I came across this, and my boy said in this video, if I have to pay for everything,
if you're wondering,
I have to pay it back.
I got paid twice too by accident. I got paid once for my son, and then when I moved again, I got paid again. And they found me 2 years later. They said, "Oh, you didn't get your stimulus check." No, I did not. Thank you.
Be very selective in your words, because like
I didn't get a stimulus, but
like
I got that
whatever.
DPP money so I can make sure that my employees I didn't lay him off.
I think he's on like 15,
But yeah,
20th account.
Twice.
But
The first time doing Trump, it was a lot of red tape and bullshit.
But the way y'all
but under Biden, that shit was simple and easy.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it always is with Democrats. They always try. Remember Obama? He tried to take good care of us by giving us money and such. Everybody look, turn their noses up. He should have done more. He did as much as he could.
That's why I haven't like streamed over here on TikTok. It's crazy.
What's going on?
I'm gonna land after this, but yeah.
Talk about folks.
Yeah, I just wanted to say when you was talking about the part about the community and black men not being trusted, it's because they also submitted, and I think they call that submission compromising. No, that's not compromising. That's why you see all the people that look like us, like, well, I see what's in the agenda and all this, but ain't no but. So everything that we've progressively achieved from our forefathers and people before us, they basically let it go to adapt to this thing for these MAGA breadcrumbs. Anytime you see MAGA, any kind of bonus they're trying to get to a group of us or you think like us, that's pretty much breadcrumbs compared to whatever somebody else finna get on the other side. It ain't never no deal. My biggest thing about my community and the support of Trump is, when have you ever seen Confederate people marching and doing all that with flags, support a candidate that like black people? Like, let's be fucking for real, man. When you ever seen supremacists praising a person that like black people in the black community? Like, this just basic level policy or nothing. When you ever seen this? They chanting and...
What did I do?
Yeah, I got you, man. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm about to close this out. I'm definitely about to close this out, but yeah.
So you're handcuffing.
I pretty much said what I had to say about folks being stupid and trying to point the finger at us like we are the ones screwing everything up, when it is clear that we've been telling the truth the whole time. So yeah. Yep. So there it is. Just an extension of what the brothers talked about last night. And I promise you, we are not on the wrong side of history on this one. We definitely aren't. What's happening is these folks are scared of us. They're scared of what we can do because they've never seen this before. They've never seen a bunch of men united in this way. So they don't want this trend to continue because they've lost control. You can't indoctrinate. You can only indoctrinate your kids so much, but when they come out here in the world and it's not the way things seem, they're gonna look at you crazy. They're gonna look at you because you lied to them. It's the same thing I tried to tell my oldest son. When I was telling him all this stuff and we had to have that conversation, I was telling you all this stuff, and then when you got down there to your mama house and she told you not to listen to what I was saying and do things her way, and it didn't work out the way you said, and I was like, look, I told you because I'm also a man. What the hell were you looking at? What the hell were you looking at? Your mama ain't worked in years. What does she know about the world out there that I don't? And that's kind of how we're taking all the young men under our wing, and we're making waves. But other than that, I'm about to get out of here. It's starting to get hot in my office. I think the sun is out, and I don't want to turn this AC on just yet. But yeah, that's all I got, man. I just wanted to go through that. I'm gonna close it out. I appreciate you, Saul, and people in the clouds that's watching. I've seen a few people pop in here and there, but I am out.